This is the F1 Live Banter show. Is that still a working title?
Does it not quite roll off the tongue well enough?
No, not quite like the digital download, the #1 longest running. Digital, whatever it is.
F1 Frenzy? No.
We'll work on it offline. But anyway, thank you very much to everyone for joining us again for episode 2. And we have a very special guest joining us today. First guest that we've got. I'll let you take the lead with the intros, and then we can go round the trombone, as they say.
Should we go first and then finish with Augusto?
Okay, go on then. We'll go that way round.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. Anyway,
go.
So, bearded sales guy. Let's get going. Is this another red flag moment?
Yeah.
False start. Let's do a formation lap.
We're still working on it. I mean, it's better than a Ferrari pit stop, though, right?
Yeah.
Ferrari pit stop, but that's not difficult. Anyway, go, Alex. Kick us off.
Hello, everyone. I am really pleased to be back for episode 2. Thank you for having me back, Jordan. Alex Abbott, often known as the bearded sales guy. Looking forward to today's F1 Live Banter.
Awesome. Hi all, Jensen Abbott at content.ai, and I'm also wearing the Jensen merch today, as I thought it was well suited. A pleasure to be here.
It's been a while since Vincent Button was at McLaren.
Yeah.
Indeed. I'm just trying to think. This must have been some merch that you got us from when you were at Silverstone, right? When it was B and Hamilton in the McLaren.
That may have been Melbourne. It may have been Melbourne. Jackie, keep me honest if you're listening. My memory's not the best. Jackie's my wife, by the way, in case anyone's wondering.
She said it is Melbourne. It is Melbourne.
Okay.
Perfect. I am Jordan Abbott, aka the Sales Poet. Big Mercedes fan, or I should say Hamilton fan. Really, I'm going to be wearing Ferrari merch next season. But no, and last but by no means least, Augusto, take us away.
Hey everybody! Thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure. Last week I was completely overboard with emotion, watching you guys laughing all over. My girlfriend was like, "What is going on here?" And it's only 8 a.m. here, Eastern time. So everybody, watching it over the Americas, good morning to you as well. And come on, Ferrari, let's go. Let's take it this year. And it's a pleasure.
Indeed, it's a pleasure to have you. You here, and thank you for being so engaged last week. That's the way to kick off a Friday, right?
Yeah,
100%.
Indeed.
Yeah, and it's usually going to be for us. It's going to be final practice day. So right before we get into qualifying, we can chat about practice.
Yeah, indeed. Have a little review of who is following Max.
Perez got rid of one of the pesky drains in Bahrain today. This morning, I don't know if you heard. It happened again. Yeah, another red flag for a couple of hours, and I haven't watched it, but I've been listening to it on the F1 app, and I heard a grinder going as they were trimming this drain, and then they were welding it shut apparently, so it didn't come back up.
Wow. Is it Bahrain that was initially designed to be a MotoGP track?
I think so. They were saying it was designed 20 years ago, so it wasn't designed for the force that these F1 cars create. So even though they have other racing on the track, it just the way the drains were designed, which are probably only used for 2 weeks out of the whole year, because that's how often it rains in Bahrain. but causing all this mayhem for the F1 cars. They were talking about adding curbs so that the drivers wouldn't kind of venture off the track and then hit the drains. So add the curbs to kind of force them to stay
within track limit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, could potentially be more of a hindrance. I mean, let's just say someone does spin. You've got a curb that's good couple of inches. That's going to kick the car up in the air.
Yeah. Make for some good entertainment for the spectators.
Yeah, indeed.
Instantly makes me reminds of Joe last year on
it's Silverstone.
Silverstone, right? Just flipping.
Oh yeah,
that was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then Russell got out the car, didn't he? He stopped.
Yeah,
because he wanted to help him, and then he got going.
Why is he so funny? Why does he look so funny? Like, why he walks so funny? I can't understand that.
Yeah. He's quite literally Woody from Toy Story as a.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, and I was watching something this morning because obviously his intro, he's like. Apparently, it was only him, Albon, and Ocon, I want to say, that they've got that shot for because they're the only ones tall enough to actually be able to have the wingspan to reach between the screens. So if anyone's got that footage of Albon and Ocon, just to make George feel not so left out. But anyway,
I haven't got that footage, but I tell you what footage I do have. And you will laugh. I kind of should have prepared a clip, but maybe it's good that I didn't because we're live. But I started watching Drive to Survive earlier, season 6. And there's this scene, I say a scene, it's kind of real life, where Christian Horner and Jerry Halliwell, or Jerry Horner, have got a Father Christmas in to wish... to wish the kids, a happy Christmas. Have you seen it, George?
Yeah. Did you not create a clip?
I didn't. Mum did.
Oh, Mum did.
Yeah. And do you think I'm safe saying it?
Well, I don't know what you're going to say, but...
Okay, well, you've seen the clip. So, Anyway, Jerry says, no, Father Christmas says to the kids, has Daddy been good this year? And I wanted to put a thing on it to say, no, sorry, I've been a very naughty boy. I know it was last year, but with what's going on currently around whatever he's done or not done with a member of staff in the office, it was still happening this time last year. So I think very relevant, but. I think there's a potential meme there, and if our clip isn't shared, I'm sure someone else is going to create that clip.
Yeah, indeed. There's rumours that their Red Bull are preparing a press release for the 28th, announcing that he will be leaving, but unreliable sources.
Yeah. So. Yeah, you don't make an offer. You don't have your lawyers make an offer of $650,000. What was it, dollars or euros?
Yeah.
To the employee, unless something's happened.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have.
Indeed.
Anyway.
I was going to say we digress. So we need to finish off our F1 bingo cards and then touch on what. Who's going to replace Hamilton and what are going to be the knock-on effects? So if I share my screen, we'll recap Jensen's bingo cards. Because I think you wanted to make a change, did you, Jens? Is that right?
I did.
Is he allowed to make a change? Are we allowing that? Augusto, what do you think? Should he be allowed?
Yeah, let's him do one change. One change is
okay.
Enough.
Oh, which one do I change though? Do you know what? I was going to say let's get rid of the Albon one, but as soon as I get rid of it, it's going to happen within the first 2 races, isn't it? It's bound to happen. Do get rid of the Hamilton to win 3+ races.
Okay. And what are you replacing it with?
For there to be 2 or more races stopped due to just stop oil protesters.
Okay. 2 or more races. Stop. I'm just going to put by protesters. I think 2 races. Oh,
prospects. Good in sales mode.
Right.
When was the last time that it happened?
I think it was Silverstone. No, not last year. The year before.
Yeah,
When
it was.
got on the track.
Yeah, because when what's his name crashed, whose name escapes me now.
Zhou Guan Yu.
When he crashed, the spectators were on the track, and as a result of that crash and the cars slowing down, it never became an incident.
Yeah.
Oh my. Well, I didn't have those deals over here. I didn't see any of that, to be honest. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think it was kept quiet though. We didn't realize it was happening watching it here.
No, it was just news flashes that popped up on like mobiles, like push notifications. So.
Wow.
And also, I think there was a recording after of Bottas where he shared his point of view on the situation. Shall I leave it as that? On the whole incident.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be wise.
Yeah.
It's before 9 p.m. Cool. So Albon 2 or more ghost crashes, no other cars involved. / Albon most DNFs. Ferrari top 2 in constructors. I think that's fair. Norris 2 podiums. Yeah. Verstappen 3 tantrums and blames the car. Red Bull less than 760 points. Aston Martin more than 270 points. I think they're fair. They're fair, gents. I think there's some good ones in there. Alex, do you want to take us away?
Yeah. So, a brand new world champion in 2024.
Okay.
So, of the 3 world champions on the grid, there's going to be a new one added. So we've got Hamilton, Verstappen, and Alonso currently.
Any insight onto who you think that will be? Just separate to bingo.
Ooh, that's a good one. No, I mean, if I was put on the spot, I'd say, based on the practice over the last few days, I'd say Sainz. Wouldn't that be a story? Sainz leaving Ferrari, and then he wins on the way out, wins the championship.
Indeed.
Actually, he was more successful than Leclerc last year, right?
Yeah. So yeah, he was.
Because he got, wasn't it the penalty? Wasn't it the penalty that meant he finished below Leclerc, and the penalty was somewhat unfair, if I recall.
Yeah. No, that does ring a bell. I think it was very close, but I think in terms of he got a race win last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Technically
the only other driver other than Max to get a race win.
Yeah.
If you're not counting the sprints.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Oscar Piastri, I remember, won one of the sprints, which I thought was amazing.
Indeed.
Okay, Lando Norris to win the Grand Prix.
Nice.
Oscar and Lando to get a 1-2 finish.
Nice.
Is that the order or any order?
No, I just put what I'll do. I'll put McLaren 1-2.
Yeah, McLaren 1-2. Now, last week you heard me say Vettel was going to replace Hamilton. I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay.
I don't think that's going to happen. Let me come back to that. Sainz to finish ahead of Leclerc. Ricciardo to be announced as a Red Bull driver. So the first team. Verstappen and Norris to take each other out within the first 6 races.
Okay.
Verstappen will blame Norris for that.
Of course.
Yeah.
First 6 races, did you say?
No, Verstappen will blame Perez for that. Or Christian Horner.
Oh, also a comment just come in from Mark.
Mick Schumacher to get a drive. That's it.
Where's me?
Perhaps the Williams seat for Mick.
What, to replace Albon?
To replace Albon, who'll be going to Mercedes.
Yeah.
Or replace Albon because too many crashes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know if Mick Schumacher's going to get a drive. Not I for a minute I was thinking Mercedes, but yeah, get a drive. Who would take him? Sorry, is that what you were saying, gents? Replace Mick Schumacher with Albon seat when
Williams seat.
Yeah.
And is that a permanent contract that you're referring to there, Mark, or could it be Hamilton gets a cough and takes the weekend off, so they need Mick to step in?
Yeah. Yes. I like the next one a lot.
That's on my card.
Yeah,
we need more characters.
we do.
Alex, what are your final 3?
Actually, I've just had a thought saying we need more characters in the sport. Is it me, or does Adrian Newey remind you of the villain in the Smurfs?
Yeah, Gargamel.
Gargamel, yeah.
As
Red Bull are the villains of the sport, it seems. Or is that just for Hamilton fans? Actually, that's a question to you, Augusto. Do you feel
for Ferrari fans as well? Yes, 100%. I'm always fan of the underdog, even though Ferrari is the one with most win average.
Yeah, you just throw that in there. Yeah.
Yeah. we hate losing for Red Bull because the brand and the people that works there. And when Vettel was Red Bull, I used to hate Vettel. It's just like that. Then he becomes Ferrari, and then I love Vettel. So it is like that.
Yeah. I mean, we should be Red Bull fans, considering that the Red Bull F1 HQ is literally 10 miles from the house.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
But no, every time I drive past, I do an Ali G.
Yeah.
What's an Ali G, George, for our audio listeners?
There's a scene in a film called Ali G. Who's a comedy character played by Sacha Baron Cohen. He lives in Staines? No, Staines in London.
Yeah, Staines massive.
Staines massive.
Yeah.
And whenever a police car drives past, he's got his car window. I know it's being blocked. Just below his car window, he'll give him the fingers.
Oh.
Can I also just add, we are also extending the bingo. So anyone that is watching or listening, like Mark, if you make 9 bingo predictions, we can add that to the slide. So gather 5 more, and you can be added.
Yeah,
indeed, I will be taking note of Mark's. I've created another. Have you got your other 3, Alex, or should we circle back?
Perez to finish 5th or lower in the championship. That's
going to happen because he's going to lose his seat halfway through the season.
Well, yeah, I was going to say. And let's come back to my other 2.
Okay. Now, Augusto. So I didn't get a chance. So we had Lando first win, Leclerc champ.
Yes, sir.
Ferrari top 2.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. 5 different winners.
Yes.
Oh, that's a big call.
Yes.
Who would the 5 be?
Of course, well, Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc, Lando as well, and
Albon?
well, Albon podium, but I'm not sure he's gonna win one because it might happen like what happened to Norris in Russia a couple of years ago,
With the
not
rain.
changing to wet ones, and then Hamilton just passes you, and yeah, you finish 8th. But um, yeah, Fernando Alonso. I have a lot of expectations that it's gonna be a lot of chaos this year
Yeah.
in terms of cold temperature is just like Vegas, and then first turn and everybody goes wild, or bowling situation, or with Bottas and everybody else. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a great season, and hopefully Verstappen's not gonna win, and Ferrari's gonna be champions again finally since ever.
Fingers crossed. So I see Lawson most DNFs. Is that because you expect Danny Rick to go to the Red Bull main team and Lawson to come in and replace him?
Yeah, but yeah, let's change this one to um Aston Martin, top 4 constructors.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. And I love one of Mark's here. Ricardo to jump in pole at Monaco GP. That would imply he's won.
Yeah, so that would imply that he was in the Red Bull.
Yeah.
What?
At what point in the season is Monaco?
I was going to say, how quickly are they going to get rid of Perez?
Yeah.
Love that. So.
Oh, Leclerc's just gone fastest in practice 3. Faster than Verstappen on the mediums.
Let's go.
Live timings.
Also, I know, George, you mentioned last week about doing the F1 fantasy.
Yeah, it's a good point. So
is there a league that we can create so that if anyone also wants to join that's listening, and then we could maybe do like a little prize?
Great shout.
Little prize for the winner.
So that is a really good point. I was actually meant to.
Yes, Nathan.
No,
Nathan.
Sorry, George.
No worries. I was meant to create the league ahead of time. Any recommendations for a league name?
F1 Banter Live.
Any recommendations for the podcast name? They're all welcome.
Okay. Is it too dad-like, is it? Does it need to be more Gen Z, more millennial?
I think it just needs to be a bit snappier.
Okay.
But it's cool. We can roll with it. Okay, so Mark, if you share 2 more, I'll update your bingo card. And then mine I've pre-filled. So Piastri to win a race before Norris. Checo to lose his Red Bull seat mid-season. Sainz and Leclerc to make contact and double DNF. So the way I've sort of structured it, these are ones that I think will happen. Middle is ones that I would like to happen, that I think have a chance, and then the bottom are just things I'd like to see. So Hamilton to get a race win, Tsunoda podium in Japan, McLaren 1-2, Albon to win a race once he's in that Mercedes. 6 seat swaps confirmed during silly season, and Günther Steiner to return as team principal.
Nice.
And wow, that's a good one.
Yeah, from Mark.
that might happen.
Indeed, it is a very good run. I think. Well, what happened last year? Towards the beginning of the season, maybe, and then Hamilton clawed it back.
Yeah, after he learned how to drive the car that wasn't designed for him.
Yeah.
I've also just thought of the sorry, little tongue twister there. Thought of a name. Instead of F1, why not Formula Fun?
That's even worse, James.
Okay.
I appreciate what you're trying to do. But that's more of a dad joke than yeah. I mean, I'm going to downvote it, but it's open.
Or
what does everyone else think?
Or trying to be more clever, the slipstream stand-up.
Slipstream stand-up. Yeah, I could.
Have you got ChatGPT open?
No, I don't. But I could easily put it in, and it'll give you worse ones than I've suggested, I'm sure.
Yeah. Perfect. So we've got Mark's bingo card here completed as well.
Nice.
Anyone else reach out? How are we doing it? Is it like 5 points if you get one, or is it just like, we'll do a line?
Yeah.
Another line, and full house, and the winners always get a certain amount of points. Cool.
Yeah, because you could actually, what you could do, Jord, is you could actually do the F1 bingo and the fantasy teamed up. So, do you know what I mean? If
influence the league.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
works.
Well, okay. Go on, carry on.
Well, I was just I'm conscious of time.
Yeah.
I want to talk about who's going to replace Hamilton. Who do we think? Dad, you said Vettel.
Yeah, but I'm not. I threw that out there last week in the hope that Vettel would come out of retirement as a German, jump in the car and get another championship when they sorted themselves out in 2025.
Yeah.
Do you reckon Bottas would go back?
I don't know.
Bottas.
If he cuts his hair as a shave, maybe. He doesn't suit Mercedes, looking like a bogan.
No, he's gone full NASCAR, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I saw that meme today, literally.
And there's also from Cars, the Disney Pixar movie, the side by side of Bottas.
Yes.
And, what's his name? Chuck Mc.
Yes.
Green car with his mustache.
The same guy.
Yeah, literally. Augusto, who do you think is going to take the Mercedes seat?
Well, I think that Kimi Antonelli is going to take the season, not the next one, but 2026. So I think that they're going to give Alex a chance, Alex Albon. This season, they are watching him. And if he's able to get at least a podium, they're going to do the same thing as he did with Russell and say, oh, Hamilton, take this weekend off, like Abu Dhabi maybe, or, a previous one, China, some that is not going to make any difference. So they're going to say, take it for a ride, do what you can, and they're going to evaluate and say, let's give him half the season at least to see if 2025 he's going to be able to do something. But from the rest of the people, I don't think Sainz is going to take it. I don't think that, there's the dream. Vettel coming back, taking, the double German, constructor and driver. But, yeah, maybe Albon's going to do it.
Yeah, it's a really good point, Mark. I think there's a relationship there between Toto and Ocon, sort of got him under his wing a little bit, as he did with Russell prior to Russell joining. I don't know. I think Albon deserves the chance in a good car. Obviously, his time at Red Bull, was cut short. I think he's worked wonders in the Williams, and I'd like to see him in a race, half racy car.
Yeah. I can't help but think that Hamilton's 8th title is just going to remain elusive to him. And Sainz wins in a Ferrari this year.
And then
Hamilton takes his seat next year and doesn't win. But Sainz takes Hamilton's seat next year and does win in the Mercedes. I mean,
you couldn't write it.
Yeah.
What about Pierre Gasly replacing Hamilton?
Yeah, I mean, he has won a race, right, Gasly? Did he not win the Emilia Romagna a couple of years back?
Yeah, I think he did. Can't remember if it was that race, but I do remember him.
Italy. It was Italy. One of the two of them.
Yeah. So, possibly. Dad, what's your... So it's not Vettel. You going for maybe Alonso?
I'm going. Oh, when's Audi entering the season?
Well,
entering
really
2026.
Yeah. So the rumor was that Sainz had already signed a pre-contract agreement with Audi.
Yes.
I
heard the same thing.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna take 1 year off.
Yeah.
And then join Audi.
He'll win his championship and then take a year off. No, I think he's going to go to Mercedes. I mean, look at how he performed, how well he did last year.
Yeah.
Look at how it feels like he's starting this year. I think if I was Toto, I'd want someone that was up there. I don't think money is an issue for Mercedes.
Yeah.
And he seems like the safest bet.
Yeah, I think he's got quite a level head on his shoulders. So I think that's something that Mercedes appreciate.
And he's one of the very few drivers on the grid that can actually sing in tune.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed. So then the rest of the grid, I mean, I don't think anything's going to happen at Haas. Unless they bring through some rookies again, but I don't think they can afford to keep having to rebuild the car once they put it in the wall. So I think, they're safe hands, right? Anyone disagree?
The only thing that could happen is a change between Haas and Kick Sauber.
Yeah.
Maybe a swap in those seats around, but I don't think any rookies are going to come in this year, apart from if maybe something happened with, Perez and then Ricardo going to Red Bull, then a seat opening up on the RBs. But apart from that, pretty safe.
So we think Perez is gone. I think that's one thing.
I think that will happen
agree
eventually.
Yeah. And then Danny Rick in that Red Bull.
Yeah.
I mean, Sainz Senior was photographed with having lunch yesterday with Helmut Marko, Adrian Newey, and Wingy Horner.
Yeah, and Sainz is a Red Bull former driver.
Yeah, junior
school academy.
Yeah. So we could see Sainz in there.
Yeah, he's a good number 2. He would be a great number 2 to Verstappen, not challenging him at all. Yeah. Still getting those podiums, and that could be a good one, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think McLaren and Ferrari's obviously they're sorted. They're both Leclerc's on a long-term contract. Hamilton's just been brought in. McLaren, I think they'll
Wonder Kids. They're going to stay there.
Both solid. Aston Martin, I mean, Lance Stroll is forever an Aston Martin driver now that
unfortunately
Stroll owns them. So that seat will be forever his.
Oh.
Will Alonso stay in the sport?
Well, I think a note. I think that when Audi comes, they're gonna take a note, more experienced driver, just like Alonso or Vettel coming back.
Yeah.
But there's the only reason when Alonso would leave Aston Martin. Then finally, Felipe Drugovich will have his, chance to shine, and Brazil will be back in the sport.
Indeed.
Is Audi going to be an additional team, or are they replacing?
No, they're replacing Kit.
Okay. Is there a reason why there couldn't be an additional team? Do we know?
Well, there were talks of what's the American team called? Oh, that was
Chrysler.
No, it was like a family-run motorsport enterprise. I forget the name, but I swear there were talks last year of them joining, but they basically need all the other teams to agree.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I remember seeing something about it. Weren't they in the process of actually getting the agreement?
So it's still ongoing.
Andretti.
Is it Andretti? Yeah, that rings a bell.
Andretti. Good shout. Yeah, Andretti.
F1 rejects Andretti bid to bring new US-based team to grid by 2026.
Rejected, did you say?
Yeah, yes, rejected. Maybe 2028.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're adding one, you'd need another one though, just to balance it out.
I think so.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. But yeah, Sainz, I guess, is a good shout for Red Bull. I think that if I was Sainz, though, this whole business about Horner needs to be done and dusted.
Resolved,
It's a big black cloud over the team right now. But then, Horner goes, we all know, I believe Red Bull is where they are because of Adrian Horner, not necessarily, Adrian Newey. I mean, they are a pretty tight partnership.
Yeah. Well, I mean, don't they both have a clause in their contract that if one leaves, the other can leave the contract?
They did. I don't know if they still do, but yeah. Because when Newey left to go off and do whatever he was doing on his, whatever project he was doing, that's when the Red Bulls kind of went downhill for a bit.
Yeah.
And when he came back, they were back on track.
Yeah, agreed, Mark. I don't think we'll see the end of Perez. He'll definitely be driving elsewhere, but
yeah. And I don't know if it will be a straight swap. I mean, if it is a straight swap between him and Ricciardo, it'll be temporary, because Horner said on Drive to Survive, episode 1 of season 6, that the only reason people drive in the second team is because they're worthy of a first team place, and if they're not potentially worthy of a first team place, there's no point in having them.
Yeah.
Unless it's we'll put you there for the time being until we replace you with a rookie. So
what you're saying is Perez wouldn't go to Racing Bulls. He'd have to find a seat elsewhere.
Yeah. And if he did go, it would be a partway through the season move because of his performance. And they felt they needed Ricciardo in the seat to ensure, a constructors' championship or a 1-2 finish, which they did for the first time last year, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, where do you think he would go? Kick Sauber? I don't think, unless Alonso leaves from Aston, could that be a lineup?
Yeah.
The Alpines. I mean, I think Alpine are wanting to keep the French together.
But they hate each other. That's the thing, right? It's the French dream is more like a nightmare.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Maybe Haas. There's a lot of money coming from the Mexican. What you guys just said in the chat.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much money Hulkenberg and Nordic the Nordics bring into the team. They are not very merchandisable.
No, it's a really good point actually. So I would agree with that. I think perhaps replacing.
Look, a little bit of color on that team looks better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark also said Haas might be an option with a new team principal.
Oh, and it's someone from Honda. Well, that know a little stuff from there.
Yeah.
Cool. Conscious of time, we've got 4 minutes. How are the timing sheets looking from practice? They stopped for lunch. Yeah.
No, they've done the lunch. They've done the changeover for lunch. So we've got the second lot of drivers now on track. So Leclerc is still topping the timesheet with 130.4 with the medium tyre. Verstappen 130.7 with the medium, and Leclerc's just got onto the soft on his first lap on the soft. So it'd be interesting to see what that does to the timings.
Also, George, I think we need to get that F1 fantasy set up because the team lock deadline is in 7 days, 2 hours and 18 minutes precisely.
Okay. Well, what I will do is create the fantasy now, and then we'll put it into each week's stream, just so any new viewers can stop by.
Yeah, if we had a QR code to log in, that would be awesome, wouldn't it?
To join the league.
To join the league. We could promote the QR code and obviously promote it between now and next week, so that well, do you have to create a team before the deadline?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so we need to promote it then a lot between now and next Friday.
Okay, perfect. So I'll get on the league. We've got obviously the first race of the season next week. I've got some little quiz questions based on the track and historic winners. So brush up on your Bahrain F1 knowledge, and yeah, we'll go from there. If we call it a day there, has anyone got any final remarks?
No, looking forward to it. Bring on Bahrain.
Indeed. Race winner before we leave of the Bahrain Grand Prix next week?
Leclerc.
Yeah, Leclerc. Do we want another guest on next week? What do we want to do next week?
I think what we should do is try and get as many people on and, create a bit more of a conversation, so it's not just us three Abbott boys.
Yeah. Have you enjoyed yourself, Augusto, today?
Yes. Sorry?
Would you like to come back?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you very much. I love that. I think it's so funny when I'm watching F1. I love to hear the British accent, and then always some American comes out of nowhere with this, accent, talking like that. I'm like, come on, it's so off place, but now I'm that guy.
It feels so NASCAR or Indy. Yeah. I'm still getting used to it, but now that there's 3 Grand Prix in North America, is there a fourth planned?
I don't know.
What have we got? We've got Vegas, Miami, Texas. Where's next? Streets of New York.
New York. Yeah, I was going to say surely. Vegas, kind of more West Coast, right? LA, Hollywood Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, California, somewhere in California.
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Oh, that'd be incredible, wouldn't it? Could you imagine Formula One cars racing across the Golden Gate Bridge? What a shot that would be! Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. So race winners for next week, we've got Leclerc, Jensen.
Oh, I'm gonna say Lando.
I'm gonna say Lando as well.
I reckon Lando will do it.
Yeah. So what's is 2-on-2? Are we putting a bet? Whichever team loses has to join next week's session in a Red Bull in Red Bull merch.
A friendly bet. No gambling before 9 p.m.
No, indeed. No dollar amounts, but no. Losing team has to wear Red Bull merch for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Mark says Carlos Sainz for him.
Carlos Sainz. I love that. Love that. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. My lovely co-hosts and everyone watching. I will create the F1 Fantasy League, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.